Okay, so welcome to the 10th episode of Visionary Thoughts. The 10th episode. I know it's just the 10th episode, but I'm so happy I've actually made it this far. I did the first three episodes and I went on like a long break because the camera died. But yeah, 10th episode. Exciting. Yay. Yeah, anyway. So today I'm going to be talking about maintenance, and responsibility. I just wanted to talk about maintenance, but I think it goes hand in hand with responsibility, and you'll see that even as I begin to break down this topic of maintenance. So, maintenance. I'm sure you're wondering, like, what is this guy referring to when he's talking about maintenance? Like, what does maintenance have to do in the things of God? If you look at the world we live in, even just our lives, our own personal lives, they need maintenance. If you look at the clothes we wear, our clothes, if you wear them for quite some time, they'll become dirty. So you need to maintain them by washing them. And even after you wash them, they're going to have wrinkles. So you have to iron your clothes. Your own bodies. Every day we have to be bathing. If you don't bath, if you don't apply your own, you're going to release a bad scent. Your body is going to be dirty, basically. So we need to maintain our bodies by bathing. Our teeth, every morning we have to brush. Why? Because our teeth, like that yellow stuff, I don't know what you call it, it accumulates. There are germs that are there and all that stuff, and we need to brush our teeth every morning. So you see the aspect of maintenance. When you have a car, you have to maintain it. You have to service it regularly. You have to wash it. You have to take it to the car wash and whatever. Because if you don't do that, it's going to be dirty. It's going to look dirty, even if it's working. And of course, you need to service it. You need to service it. At least every year, it needs to go for servicing. Why? Because you're trying to maintain the car. You want to make it last longer. It should run longer. So everything, when you look around, even our homes, you need to be cleaning every time. We need to be sweeping. We need to be mopping. And the amazing thing is that even if you, like a house, even if excuse me, is this a wasp? Is this a bee? What is this? Okay, hold on a second. I don't want to get stuck. Let me just open the window. And we're back. We're back. There was actually a wasp here. Yeah, it kept moving around and my windows were closed, so I had to open my windows. Yeah, so yeah, don't judge me. Those things hurt. If I don't want to get stuck. What does I say? See, I'm even forgetting what I was saying. But yeah, maintenance. When you look at the house, I think that's why I ended. But anyway, when you look at the house, right, you have to, the house needs maintenance. If you haven't swept it in a while, that house is going to it's going to accumulate dust. Even if you cleaned it, you mopped it, and then you left, like even if there was no activity, the windows are still going to accumulate dust. The floor is going to accumulate dust. So you see the aspect of maintenance. Even if you think, after I don't even move around in the house. So maintenance is important in our lives, in our own personal lives. Like that's how God has just designed everything to be. Excuse me. So that's how God designed everything to be. He's given us responsibility over our lives, over what we have, and everything, even our bodies. Like we need to eat. We can't be starving. If we starve, we're going to die. So we need to eat. If it's people who are like still living in the jungle and the villages and all that stuff, I don't know if there are people who still hunt. But yeah, you see, they still have to hunt. So that's responsibility. They have to maintain their body. So they have to hunt, they have to cook the food, and they have to eat. If not, they'll die. So everything requires maintenance. And you can only maintain something if you are responsible. You're a responsible person. So in God's wisdom, He designed this life. He designed us in such a way that we have to maintain everything we have. Everything we have to work, we have to maintain, we have to take care, we have to watch over. You see the words I'm using. That's how God designed things to be. And it's very important. And there's also wisdom in knowing what you're taking care of and how you should take care of it. You get it? So it's like I say, what can I say? What can I say? It's like I buy biscuits. I buy biscuits. If I don't know how biscuits behave, I'll put them in a deep freezer. No, I want to preserve these biscuits, so then put them in a deep freezer. And yet you don't need to put those biscuits in a deep freezer. You can just put them in a cupboard or something. You know, you just put them in a compartment, just they're even out in the open because they don't go bad. And imagine you didn't know that meat goes bad. And instead of putting it in the freezer, you just leave it out there in the open. What's going to happen? It's going to go bad. So even as you are maintaining, there's also wisdom in knowing how to maintain. What am I maintaining? You know, even like for me as a guy, if I'm maintaining my body, even the lotions I use, I mean, I'm not going to use women's lotion, am I? I'm not going to be using women's perfume. There's a way I'll take care of myself. There's a way I understand myself, and there are certain things that are best suited for me and my needs. So, as a child of God, it's very important. Maintenance is part of our lives. Maintenance is part of our lives, and we can't do without it. If we want to survive in this world, we have to maintain ourselves. We have to maintain what we own. And most of all, we have to maintain our spiritual lives. Our spiritual lives always have to be afloat. And the way it is, like, for me, I can give you like first-hand experience. When I don't pray regularly, when I don't read the Bible regularly, my mood even changes. My mood changes. There's a difference when I pray consistently and when I'm just being lazy. I've had a lot of those moments, if I'm being candid here, if I'm being honest. I've had so many moments where I'm lazy, and because of that, my whole mood changes. My outlook on life changes. You know, I feel heavy, just because I haven't prayed. But I notice when I follow my timetable, I pray every day, I read my Bible, I fast, I notice my mood even changes. My mood changes. Even when I do ministry, I'm more efficient. I'm more efficient. Things are, they feel much easier. I feel I do things much easier when I pray, when I fast. So it's important to maintain a spiritual life. It's not like you just give your life to Christ and you just disappear. And you say, God will do the rest, let me go live my life. No. Your spiritual life needs to be maintained. Sometimes that will mean opening up to someone, opening up, like looking for a mentor. You go to a mentor and say, okay, I think I need help in this area. Okay, this is where I've been struggling, so I need you to help me. I need you to guide me. I need you to teach me. And you'll see that you actually be preserved. Your spiritual life will be preserved. Your spiritual life will be afloat when you have someone. So it's very important for us to maintain our spiritual lives. It's not just something that just happens, you know, okay. The same way you maintain other aspects of your life, you know, your clothes, your house, your body, even your money. You know, everything requires maintenance. And that's the same way you should maintain your spiritual life. I can tell you for a fact, if you look at these great preachers and people who are just strong in the things of God, they didn't just become like that. They're not just like that. You know, I can assure you that they pray every day. They make sure that's the main priority for them. Like for me, I even have timetable. I know, okay, from this time to this time, I have to wake up and pray. This time I have to pray, I have to read the Bible. I've put it on my daily schedule. I've put it so I know that by this time I have to pray. By this time I read my Bible. This day I have to fast. This day I have to do this. I have to do that. So that's a way in which I maintain my spiritual life. So if you look at these great men, women of God, people who are strong in the things of God, they maintain their spiritual life. You see, if you ask any of them, you see they pray every day. They read their Bible. They study their Bible. They read books. You see why? Because they're trying to maintain their spiritual life. They're trying to keep that relationship with God afloat. They're trying to maintain that intimacy with the Holy Spirit. So maintenance is important for every believer. The same way it's important in your day-to-day living to maintain your body. And you know, when you're focused on maintaining your body, when you're focused on staying afloat, like it becomes second nature. It's not even something that's a struggle, like brushing your teeth and all that stuff. Like it just becomes something normal. It becomes something, the more you do it, it becomes something normal. Such that it's not even a chore. It doesn't even become a chore. When you have a car, maybe you set a day, okay, this day I'll be cleaning my car. It doesn't feel like a chore anymore. You even get used. It becomes part of your life. So don't think maintenance is something difficult. So in as much as we have to maintain, of course it's important to maintain our physical bodies, even in the way we eat. I won't lie, I've been eating a lot of late. I've been eating a lot and I've gained a lot of weight. I even have a pot belly now. It's just that you can't see it because I've cut the frame here. But yeah, I have a pot belly. Why? Because I've been eating a lot. I was slim before, but I've been eating a lot. Because of that, this is the result. I've gotten bigger than I was before. So that's the reality. So you see how maintenance is important. God won't come down and whip me. You get it. It's up to me. In as much as you guide me and all that, it's up to me also to heed and to to follow, to maintain my body, and it's also important to maintain everything that you're doing. It's maintenance is like, is part of all of our lives. It's part of all of our lives. So I can put it that way. It's part of all of our lives, and it's God. You can learn so much. I don't know how I can put this. There's so much wisdom you can derive from how God designed things. Thank you, Holy Spirit. There's so much wisdom to derive from how God designed things. Just look at, in the world of innovation, in the world of science, look at the aeroplane. Where did the idea for the aeroplane come from? It came from a bird. You see, the bird flies like that, and it's moving in the sky and all that stuff. That's how the aeroplane moves as well. So it got something from nature, from God's creation, to say, if this bird can fly, I think we can use the same design. And they worked out the aerodynamics and whatnot, and they got it flying. Why? Because they got the blueprint from God's creation. They learned something from God's creation. In the same way, you can learn something from how you operate. You learn to say, if I don't sweep my room, the room will accumulate dust. If I don't take care of my body, if I don't bath, I'm going to start smelling. If I don't apply roll-on, I'm going to start sweating, and my body is going to release a foul odor. So you learn from that to say, the same way I take care of my physical body, the same way I take care of my items, is the same way I should take care of my spiritual life. So there's wisdom also in how God designs things. There's a lot you can learn about maintenance. Even these gadgets you have, even a laptop. Me, I can tell you, I used to be really careless when it came to my electronics. Like laptops and phones and whatnot. I really used to overuse them, and I just never cared. And they would die sooner than they were supposed to. You get it? So that's something you can learn. So I can learn, the same way my phone died, or this, because I didn't take care of it, it's the same way my spiritual life would die. If I don't take care of it, if I don't pray, if I don't fast, if I don't read my Bible, if I don't communicate with God, if I don't get guidance from Him. So that's the thing. And, there's just so much wisdom. There's so much wisdom. Sometimes we miss certain things. How can I say? We miss certain teaching moments or certain wisdom because we've grown so comfortable in God's creation. If you're always in awe of God and what He makes, you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from your environment. You can learn a lot from the way you operate. If you look at food, right? If you eat, like for instance, if you take poison, you're going to die, aren't you? If you take poison, you're going to die. Or if you eat something that's harmful or toxic, you may not die, but it's going to affect your internal organs. You're going to have some serious stomach pains, or you develop a rash. But if you eat something nice, something healthy, you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to have a positive effect. In the same way, you can realize, say, if I read my Bible, if I listen to gospel music, if I read Christian books, it's going to transform me. It's going to edify me. But if I'm always watching nasty things, I'm watching pornography, I'm watching horror movies, and I'm listening to these secular songs that glorify, abusing women, they glorify sex, they glorify drugs and alcohol and gang violence and whatnot, it's going to affect me in a negative way. The same way taking poison is going to kill me. It's the same way those things will kill me. The same way those things will kill my spiritual life. So there's a lot to derive from God's creation. God is very wise. He thought of everything. He created everything perfect. He's an amazing God. And there's there's so much wisdom in just looking around you. How do things work? How do things work? If you look at the sun, one thing that really amazed me, I think that was like 2 days, not 2 days, I think 2 or 3 years back. I looked outside, right? During the day, of course, the sun comes out. During the night, the moon comes out and the stars come out. And for me, the Holy Spirit just ministered to me and said, that's how I'm always watching over you. That's how I'm always watching over my children. I noticed that there's always a source of light. During the day, the sun is there as a source of light. During the night, even as it's dark, the moon is there, the stars are there, and they're a source of light. So you see that I learned a lesson just from me looking at the sun and the moon. But you find to someone else, it's just the sun and the moon. It's just something simple. It's science. I mean, didn't you learn about this in grade 1? Things like that. So there's wisdom also in just seeing how things work. You can learn from how things work. If you look at sowing, if you sow a seed, looking at sowing a seed, like maybe you give and you shall receive and all that stuff, or you reap what you sow. I think that's a more appropriate verse, where you say you reap what you sow. Clearly, you go. If you look at when you plant something, maybe you want to plant maize or whatever, you just plant, you put the seed in there. When you water it, when you tend to eat, it's going to grow. And it's going to produce fruit. Whatever it is you plant, it's going to produce fruit. You get it? So these are things you can learn, even in the spiritual. You can learn certain things. Oh, it's what happens when I plant something comes out of it. So whatever you do, like for me, if I decide to be lazy, you can know where you're going. You can know if you're going to be successful or not just by what you do, just by your daily routine. Like it's just like at school, right? I imagine I miss lessons. If it's at university, I miss lessons. I don't study. I don't watch tutorials. I don't do group studies. Nothing. I don't even attend lectures. After paying fees, I don't do anything. Do you think when the exams come, I'm going to pass my exams? Maybe I don't even know the courses that are there because I don't attend. So I'm not going to pass. I'm not going to perform well. It's not rocket science. Why? I've reaped what I've sown. Because what did I sow? It's laziness. Being absent and all that stuff. Is it absenteeism? I don't know if that's a real word. But yeah, laziness and being absent and whatnot. And what am I going to reap? Failure. I can't get a distinction like that. Imagine I don't attend lessons, I don't learn, I don't know anything, and I say I'm going to get a distinction. That's not possible. So yeah, that's something to look at. And it's very important. Like this, if you just open yourself up to God and you're submitted to Him and you just look at His creation, there is a lot you can derive from that. There's a lot you can learn from that. Even this maintenance thing I've been talking about, there's a lot to learn from that. Things don't just automatically, happen. When you wake up, the bed won't just spread itself, your body won't just clean itself, your house won't just clean itself, your garden won't just water itself, your dog will not just feed itself. You get it? So those are things to look at. Oh wow, it means there's responsibility. I need to be responsible over my life, over what I'm keeping, what I've been put in charge of. I have to be responsible. I have to maintain. If I don't cut my hair, look, my hair is growing. I have a beard here. My beard is growing. Why? I haven't cut it, so it's growing. My nails, if I don't cut them, they'll grow. No one will do that for me. There's no angel who will just come at night and start, Wheeler, I got you, my guy. It is well. Starts cutting my nails and starts, gives me like lightning and other stuff and births me and whatnot. No, that's my responsibility. And the amazing thing, thank you, Holy Spirit. The amazing thing is that we all have the ability to maintain ourselves. We're all capable. Even in our spiritual life, sometimes you'd think, I don't know, this thing is just too much. I don't know if I can manage. You can. Do you know that if you, even like waking up at 0, I don't wake up at 03, by the way, but those who do anyway, you wake up maybe 03, 02 to pray and all that stuff. It may have been difficult at first, but after some time you get used. It doesn't even bother you. Okay, this time I wake up, I pray. Maybe for an hour, 30 minutes, whatever. you get used. So even when you look at maintenance, eventually you get used. It becomes part of you. You don't even think about it. You don't even think about the things we do. Like some things you can't even point out. You don't realize, but you do them all the time. You do them all the time. Do you ever have this scenario, like this situation where maybe you lock your door, then after you've reached a certain point, you forget, did I actually lock my door? You don't remember yourself locking the door. Why is that? Because it has become routine. It has become routine such that you're not even thinking about it anymore. Once you're done, you just lock the door and you go. Because it's routine. It's normal. It's normal. It's such a normal thing. It's such a mundane thing for you now. Like, it's normal. It's a daily routine that you don't even think about it like that. So that's how it is. Even with maintenance, the more you maintain yourself, which is important, you get used to it. You get used to it. You get used to it. So this life, if you look at it even from the little details, you see that you require maintenance. You require maintenance. Everything you have requires maintenance. This room requires maintenance. I have to clean my windows. I have to wash my blankets every now and then. Even the headboard there you're seeing behind, those two sections there, the one on my left and my right and all that stuff, I have to be cleaning them. The shoes I have to be cleaning them. The clothes I wear, I have to be cleaning them. Even the laptop I'm using right now, I have to be cleaning. So everything requires maintenance, 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 maintenance. Remember, you are responsible. You are responsible. Nothing just comes. That's God. That's how God has done things in His wisdom. That's the wisdom of God. For us to maintain, for us to be responsible, for us to be in charge of our lives. For us to be there and tending to everything that is given to us. That's something to look at. I mean, didn't God give Adam the garden to tend to and all that stuff, to tend to the animals and whatnot? So God believes in work. He believes in responsibility. Nothing just comes from nowhere. That's why in the olden days when you wanted to eat, food just won't drop from the sky. Food just won't drop from the sky. Unless, of course, it's a miracle and all that stuff. But generally, you have to work. You have to work. You have to maintain. You have to be responsible. I believe there's still people there maybe who hunt. They go hunt for food and all that stuff. And yeah, I guess that's that. That's that. That's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. And that's how God has made us, And we always have to be responsible over our lives. Not just our physical lives, but our spiritual lives. Because, of course, we live in both planes. Sometimes we think, and it's something that Pastor Rudolph Paswani was teaching us one time, I think, on his Love, Faith, and Passion Facebook page. He talked about maintenance. He said sometimes we are just focused on our spiritual lives that we don't forget. Well, we forget our spiritual life. We are focused on our spiritual lives that we forget our physical lives. You're just focused on prayer, connection to God, but you forget you live in a physical world. You have to look a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to take care of yourself, you have to be well groomed and well put together and all that stuff, because you're still in a physical world. So sometimes maybe we think, I also used to think like that. I'm like, what matters is the spiritual. As long as I'm doing things well in the spiritual realm, there's no need for me in the physical, whatever. But then I also have to be relevant in the physical. I'm in this body. I exist in this physical plane. So that's how it should be. So I have to maintain not just the spiritual, but the physical. I have to take care of my body as well. Even in ministry, like for me to live longer and for me to make more impact, I have to take care of my body. I have to eat well. There's a lot that needs to be done. So yeah. Maintenance. There's a lot you can learn from maintenance. Just from the way we maintain everything in our lives, the way we maintain our property, the way we clean our houses. We should also do the same in our spiritual lives. So, yeah, I guess that's that. I thought this would be longer. I felt like I would have more to say, but I pray I've driven the point across about maintenance and what we can learn from maintenance and how God has designed us in a way that we have to be responsible. We have to maintain ourselves. We have to maintain what we have. God is wise. He made us this way for a reason. So yeah. Um, I hope you've been blessed. I hope you've been blessed. I've been blessed. I've been blessed so much. And yeah, have a good day. Watch out for episode 11. Yeah, watch out for episode 11. Whenever that will be. Hopefully, I'll be on time. So yeah, peace out.